the Iliad. And it was written in about 1200 BCE, and it was written by this guy named Homer. He was a pretty cool dude. We don't really know when he was alive, but they think 800 to 700 BCE. Not entirely sure, but here is the epic that he wrote, and here we go. Bad eraser. There we go. All right, so there were 3 kings that are significant and really have to know about in order to understand the plot of the story. There was the king from Mycenae, and he was called Agamemnon. Big guy, strong, kind of scary. There's the king from Sparta, who was the brother of Agamemnon. His name's Menelaus. Not as big and scary as Agamemnon, but still pretty scary and powerful. Then there was the king from Troy, which my arm is now covering, and that's King Priam. First 2, Agamemnon and Menelaus, were cursed by their father, but we're going to get into that in just a minute here. Here's the history. It comes in 3 parts. The first part of that story is, it's the story of Zeus and Leda. Zeus really liked this girl named Leda, and he turned himself into a swan. It's messed up. And they laid an egg. Well, Leda laid the egg. In that egg were 2 beautiful twins, one named Helen, the other named Clytemnestra, and basically Helen is the essential part of this story. So here is what happened in the second part. So remember that curse that Menelaus and Agamemnon had on them by their father? Well, that came from Atreus, their dad, and he was living in his homeland with his brother as their king. He was pretty jealous of his older brother, so what he did was he served him dinner one night. His brother really liked it. He was like, hey, what is this? And it ended up being his children. So he served his brother's children. And moral of the story is Atreus, not the greatest guy, and he ended up cursing Menelaus and Agamemnon. So they always kind of think that they have it pretty bad. But the third part is this wedding. Now, the wedding is significant simply because of the story of the golden apple. Eris, the goddess of discord, was not invited to this. And kind of angry, she throws in this golden apple. She shows up anyways, tosses it in there, just lets what happened happen. Now, on this apple is this inscription, and I'm writing it out here. It means, in English, for the fairest. Now, it's a little complicated from here, because there are a bunch of goddesses here that all want that golden apple. They all think they're the fairest. Athena, Aphrodite, and Hera. Now, first, Zeus was going to judge it, but he says, I don't want to touch this with a 20-foot pole. So instead, Paris judges it, being an idiot that he is. Athena offers him warrior skills, Aphrodite offers him love, and Hera offers him money and power. Now, who would be dumb enough to do this? Of course, Paris is, and in his hopeless romantic style, he picks Aphrodite. Surprise, surprise, nobody is shocked. And, of course, it leaves Athena and Hera really angry. He gets Helen for all of the, his glory and the prize that Aphrodite promised. So, issue number 1, Helen is already married to Menelaus. Paris, you womanizer, you. Not really, he's kind of a wimp. But the second issue is Paris takes Helen, she goes with him, but, and takes her to Troy. Hector has explicitly told him, do not take Helen away from Menelaus. It will cause an entire war and outbreak. It's gonna be a mess. Third issue, Menelaus goes to Agamemnon and says, big brother, help me invade Troy. You can have the land. I just want my wife back. He says, yeah, let's do this. Okay, the result, total and complete outbreak of war. Now, there are Greeks fighting Trojans fighting Greeks. It's the biggest mess you can possibly picture, and it's all because stupid Paris took Helen. Now, here's the cast of characters. Achilles, aka Hot Stuff, has 2 paths. Now, Hot Stuff can either grow old, and nobody will remember his name, and have 2 kids, or he can die in a glorious way, and everybody will remember his name. But here is the catch there. Normally in Greek mythology, you don't see people knowing how their 2 fates are going to be, or you don't see them being able to control it. Then there's Hector, son of Priam, brother to Paris. He has this beautiful newborn baby, a gorgeous wife. He doesn't want to go to war for his stupid brother and his selfish ways. No, of course not. So, what happens is Paris, son of Priam, is still with Helen. It's just still a mess. He's still in love. And here are the Greek lineup. Now, the Greeks also have Achilles, but then they have Ajax, great warrior, Diomedes, another great warrior, Odysseus, clever, cunning, good at strategizing, Nestor, the elder, knows what he's talking about, and then Patroclus, Achilles' possible cousin, lover, friend, nobody really knows. Then on the Trojan side, there's Priam, and, there's Paris and Hector, but other than that, no significant warriors on their side. It's gonna be a bloodbath. Then here are the gods and their sides. There are the Greek-friendly gods, and then there are the Trojan-friendly gods. Now, of course, Zeus, never wanting to make Hera mad, stays in the middle, but still has some Trojan preferences. On the Greek side, there's Hera, Athena, and Poseidon. Hera and Athena are over there because Paris didn't give them the golden apple. Then on the Trojan side, there's Aphrodite, Apollo, Artemis, and of course, Ares, god of war. They all protect the city pretty well. And finally, there's the spoilers I'm going to let you know on. Spoilers is spelled wrong, I apologize. Achilles kills Hector. Hector, of course, kills Patroclus. And then, really shockingly, Paris ends up killing Achilles, which nobody saw coming. That